I wanted to make a video to address some of the controversy that's been going on over the past few days. Now, because of this controversy, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes with these controversies, but I had them on, and because of that, I wanted to hear what their opinion is. I would most certainly be open to doing that.
To all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch, regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal Ryan Reynolds versus Justin.
I wanted to make a video to address some of the controversy that's been going on over the past few days. Now, because of this controversy, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes with these controversies, but I had them on, and because of that, I wanted to hear what their opinion is. I would most certainly be open to doing that. To all the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never ever go full Amber Heard. Blake Lively is not a good person. That she has proven herself not to be a kind person. Okay, and that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any. Okay, she has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognized that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told. Okay, this is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni. All of the evidence points to that. We all know Hollywood feuds can be explosive, but nobody saw this coming. Joe Rogan, king of blunt podcast commentary, allegedly throwing his entire weight behind Justin Baldoni in a swirling storm of accusations, leveled straight at Blake Lively. The rumor mill has it that Rogan was so appalled by Lively's supposed behavior that he couldn't stay silent any longer, dropping some of the most incendiary comments we've heard in years. And now the internet is ablaze with speculation about what exactly Blake Lively did to push Rogan over the edge. People are calling her out for manipulative tactics, entitled behavior, and even downright destructive moves behind the scenes. Again, all allegedly. It's the kind of drama that leaves you wondering, how did it all start? And where in the world is it going to end? Apparently, this war of words began to simmer out of public view, only to erupt in a flurry of cryptic social media posts, rumored backstage confrontations, and whispered leaks from all sides. But once Rogan decided to speak up, allegedly on his podcast, there was no turning back. He isn't one to tiptoe around hot-button issues. And if the scuttlebutt is true, he's unloading on Lively with everything he's got. Whether or not you're a fan of Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, or Joe Rogan, one thing's certain. This train wreck of a feud is moving at breakneck speed, and everyone's got an opinion. Yet behind every rumor is that nagging question. Are we witnessing real drama, or is it just a big fabricated fiasco to grab more headlines? As fans scramble to connect the dots, more alleged details keep surfacing, like hidden voice messages, meltdown moments, or strategic PR campaigns intended to bury Baldwin's perspective. And while it's tough to pin down the hard facts, the conversation is impossible to ignore. So, buckle up, because this is the story of how Joe Rogan supposedly dropped the hammer on Blake Lively, sided with Justin Baldoni, and plunged Hollywood into a frenzy of savage backlash and tabloid delight. Word spread like wildfire that Joe Rogan used his mammoth platform to declare in no uncertain terms that he's done with Hollywood A-listers playing dirty behind closed doors. The central figure in his crosshairs, allegedly none other than Blake Lively, supposedly Rogan wasn't mincing words. He launched into a stinging condemnation that left listeners reeling. There's talk that he even called Lively a master manipulator who's been working angles in Tinseltown for years, sidestepping accountability whenever it suits her. Of course, this leaked rumor set social media on fire. Devoted Blake Lively fans rushed to her defense, calling the claims baseless. On the flip side, Rogan loyalists argued that the man calls it like he sees it, claiming his track record of blunt honesty indicates there must be some truth behind his words. Allegedly, Rogan described an insidious underbelly of star-studded politics, implying that Lively has a reputation for stepping on whoever's in her way. Critics were quick to point out that Rogan never names names lightly. He usually addresses controversies head-on without fear of backlash. So, if he's truly gone on record about Lively, it's a sign the tension is off the charts. Reports also suggest Rogan was visibly agitated throughout the segment, maybe even referencing direct statements from Baldoni that cast Lively in a sinister light. Granted, without a released transcript, fans can only speculate about the specific jabs Rogan threw, but the intensity of the rumors alone has overshadowed half the entertainment gossip swirling around the internet. Podcasters, YouTubers, and media outlets from every corner are devoting episodes to dissecting possible quotes, cross-referencing timelines, and analyzing Rogan's usual style for hidden clues. People are especially curious about why Rogan, famous for tackling political issues, MMA, or comedic commentary, would plant his flag in a decidedly Hollywood spat. Is there a personal friendship with Baldoni that makes this a matter of loyalty? Is Rogan simply fed up with alleged manipulative tactics used by big-name celebrities? No one seems to have a definitive answer. Yet, the fervor continues to build as more details trickle out from anonymous sources who claim to have insider knowledge of what was said. It's not just casual fans who are hooked. Even longtime industry vets are scratching their heads. We all know controversies with Rogan typically revolve around provocative guests or his unfiltered opinions on societal issues. This time it's about aligning himself with an actor, Justin Baldoni, whose brand emphasizes positivity and emotional intelligence. The contrast is shocking enough to keep people glued to the updates. On top of that, the swirling speculation that Lively is orchestrating behind-the-scenes spin in response to Rogan's alleged criticisms has only further stoked the flames. All told, this alleged podcast bombshell has become the moment everyone's replaying in their minds, even though no official audio snippet has surfaced. The unverified quotes are so scandalous that it's impossible to ignore the chatter. The question is, if Rogan really did blow the whistle this hard on Blake Lively, what does he know that we don't? Is there some massive trove of evidence waiting in the wings? One thing's for sure, this rumored rant has catapulted the ongoing Lively-Baldoni tension into a new stratosphere. And here's the biggest kicker. If Rogan has truly inserted himself into the feud, it means the ramifications could grow beyond Lively and Baldoni. Once Rogan gives an opinion, the media wave can become a tsunami, dragging more celebrities, producers, and fans into the mess. If there's any shred of truth to the claims he made, we could be on the cusp of the biggest celebrity meltdown of the year. But that's not even half of it. The real question is, how did Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni become such bitter adversaries in the first place? Initially, fans believed they were on relatively friendly terms, both known for their positive public images and philanthropic work. But whispers from the industry suggest a much darker reality lurking beneath the polished surfaces. Allegedly, their paths crossed in ways that left lasting scars. From rumored creative clashes to personal grievances that never made it into the headlines, some insiders traced the bad blood back to an unconfirmed project that Lively and Baldoni were both rumored to be circling. The gossip claims that Lively leveraged her star power to freeze Baldoni out, or at least limit his influence on the final cut. It said she didn't appreciate his suggestions or the direction he wanted to take a certain storyline. Once more, all allegedly, Baldon, known for exuding empathy and earnestness, was blindsided. He reportedly felt Lively's stance was more about ego than artistic vision. But it didn't stop there. Rumors swirled about Lively dropping pointed remarks in interviews, referencing actors who pretend to be the good guy but bring chaos behind the scenes. People started to connect the dots back to Baldon, fueling speculation that she was subtly undermining his reputation. Meanwhile, Baldon's fans insisted he was the victim of orchestrated smear tactics, though none of these claims were publicly verified. It was all hush-hush. What made it even murkier was the rumor that close friends of Baldoni tried to warn him about Lively's alleged track record of friendliness to your face sabotage behind your back. Again, these are second-hand sources, but they sparked an online meltdown about Lively's possible two-faced nature. Fans who previously adored her for her roles and philanthropic endeavors found themselves conflicted, wondering if they'd been misled by her charming public persona. And then there's the matter of timing. Certain gossip columns point to a spike in tension when Baldoni gained traction in Hollywood for his directorial work and motivational speaking. Could Lively have felt threatened by a rising star with a squeaky clean image? The rumor mill says yes. She allegedly made some calls to ensure that Baldon's name would not overshadow hers at certain events or press tours. Meanwhile, Bellons to supporters paint him as an unassuming professional who was simply outmaneuvered by Lively's cunning. The friction apparently grew so heated that mutual acquaintances stepped in to mediate. Allegedly, phone calls were made late at night, hush-hush deals were offered.